What's going on, guys? This is Astrum Sensei and welcome back to my series on my action RPG tutorial series. Oh my god, this intro is a mess, but whatever. So we're back here in our dungeon, and I know I promised that I'd work on player health and lock-on, and I said a lot of stuff, but actually I had a change of plans. For today, we're actually gonna be doing sound effects and, ambient sounds and stuff instead, and footstep sounds. You'll like it. And we'll also add a soundtrack that will be triggered by, when you reach a certain area in the level. So, I don't know, maybe somewhere around here. Now, I re-imported this dungeon back into my game because it kind of looked bland as we were working on it over there, like in that example level. So yeah, it's good to be back in our dungeon, but it's very unlively without any sounds. So yeah, we're gonna work on that today. Now guys, I really wanted to ask before we get started, so I decided to make this dungeon bigger, and what I wanted to ask is if you guys want to see the process of me making it bigger. Now it's gonna be a very tedious video, so it's probably gonna be a time lapse, but it's not easy to make that kind of video. So yeah, I was wondering if you guys would like to see it or not, because this really is a very small dungeon for now. It's just one corridor and one large room and a staircase and this stairs, but yeah, I really wanted to make it very much bigger in the next video, and I just want you guys to vote if you want to see it, if you want to see me do it or not, like if that would be useful for you. So yeah, let's get started on working on our sound effects. So the files I've downloaded is this pack called Fantasy Sound Effects Library, and the third thing that we're going to be using is this soundtrack from a game called Bloodborne. You probably don't know it. Yeah, it's called Hail the Nightmare. It's a very scary song, by the way. But yeah, we're gonna be using all of that. I forgot to extract this, by the way. Now, when you're using sounds for your game, you really want to make sure that they are WAV files, because MP3 just doesn't work with Unreal. So yeah, let's start by creating a new folder outside in our content folder for our sounds. So I'm just gonna type in sounds. I'm gonna make the color for it, I don't know, yellow or red, I'm not sure. What do you guys think? What fits sounds more? Yeah, definitely yellow. Almost green. Yeah, like this. And inside of here, I'm also gonna create two new folders called music and SFX. And I'm gonna set the same color for both of those. I'm gonna do an episode on, organizing the files, but for now I think it's fine. I'm also gonna do an overhaul for the blueprints, like all of them. I'm gonna organize them and start making them more readable, because I tried to record the video on lock-on and everything was a mess, unlike my other project. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna make an episode for organizing stuff and overhauling everything, because so far it's not that great. At one point we stopped organizing everything, stopped adding comments, all of that. So yeah, let's continue. In the music file, I'm gonna import the song from Bloodborne. It's very scary. So yeah, I just dragged it and dropped it, and it's here. Now yeah, I'm just gonna leave it for last, this song. For the cave sounds, just drag it and drop it. Oh, this is an MP3. Oh, I accidentally went into the MP3 folder. So yeah, I'm gonna hold it, and I'm just gonna drop it here. And there's an entire folder for footsteps here. I'm just gonna drag it and drop it as it is. Okay, this one, I don't know why it's not importing. And the MP3 just doesn't work. Is there really no way to import these files? Unless I... Oh, okay, there is. Oh, it's apparently a mistake because I imported the MP3 version first, so that's why it wasn't working. I think it will work now after we drag it and drop it. Yeah, it did. Okay. Okay, that's everything for now. The other stuff, we're probably gonna use them later. But yeah, really check out this pack and thank the person who made it because it's very useful. Now I'm gonna create a new folder for the footsteps because they are very, you know, there's too many of them. So just select them all. Oh, that sounds good. Okay. And move them here. This is the simplest one we're gonna do today, which is just right click on it and create queue. And I'm just gonna rename it to SFX Cave Ambience. Just drag it and drop it into the level. Now over here, when you open it, there are a few things we want to change. The first thing is you want to activate looping when you left click on this one. So just activate it. And the other thing is you want to check if the file, if the sound is way too low or way too high so that you can edit it based on that. So we're going to click play. Wow, it already sounds amazing. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna make it louder. Just by a little bit. So there are two ways to do it. You can either do it from here, volume multiplier, and you can also change the pitch if that's something you want to do. Or you can just select the sound cue over here, which is this one. And over here, you can just change the volume multiplier. I'm gonna change it to 1.5 or maybe 2, I don't know. Let's just make it 2. So the thing we want to do next is we want to add footsteps. They sound amazing. So to do it, I'm actually gonna select all of them and right click, create a queue. Oh, no. Okay, cancel that. Oh, I can't cancel that. Okay, I'm just gonna delete them. We want to create one queue and we're gonna add all of them into it. So just on the first one, create queue. I'm gonna call it SFX footsteps. Maybe I should type the material name. So this is like dirt, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be called dirt or something else. I'm gonna call it footsteps stone. Footsteps stone. And inside of this queue, what you want to do is you want to just hold all of them. I mean, select all of them and drag them into here. And you want to right click and choose the random node. And what this does is it plays one of those, all of them, randomly. So when you add them all, each time you walk, the footsteps are going to be random. Like it will choose a random one from those and it will play it. That way, you know, you have a more realistic sound for each footstep. Like they don't all sound the same, or they don't all get chosen in the same order. So this is the best way to do it, I think. So right now, this is what the random, like this is what the queue looks like. There is a weight over here. What it does is if you make the number higher for some of those, the higher the number, the more, you know, it's gonna play. So the more often it's gonna get chosen to be played. So I think I'm gonna choose 2 to make them more favorable than the others. Let me see them over here. Actually, no, I'm just gonna decrease the favor thing on some of them, because some of them actually sound like you're walking on dirt and not on stone, and I'm gonna change that. So this one, I've chosen it, number 5, it sounds like dirt, definitely. So I'm gonna make it 0.3. We don't want it very often. And 4. I'm gonna make it 0.32. And the first one too, 0. I'm gonna make it 0.2. And as you can see, when you press play queue, a new one gets chosen every single time. So now what we want to do is we want to add it to our character. The way to do that is you actually want to go to your animation montage for the walking and the running. And I know it's a very, very tedious thing to do, but it's worth it, definitely worth it. So I'm simply gonna select my... Wait, we didn't add a montage for all of those. Yeah, I think we can add them to the animation sequence. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the montage, now I remember. Yeah, we're gonna add notifiers over here to tell it when the sound is gonna be played based on where, like what time she's stomping. So let's do that right now. First thing, I'm gonna pause because it's annoying. So she starts with her... Wait, this is left? Yeah, this is left. She starts with her left foot already on the ground, so we're not gonna do anything about it. But when she puts her right leg foot on the ground, we're gonna create a new notify. We're gonna call it right foot step. And one thing you could do if you don't have, you know, that many materials that you want to add to your game and just one footstep sounds, is you can simply, instead of the new notify, you can just play sound, and that would add the sound itself to the animation. But if you do that, it's not gonna be very good if you have like more than one surface that the character is gonna walk on, because it's not gonna sound realistic at all, and that's not a good thing. So just do what I do. So yeah, now that we've added the first one, let's go look for the second stomp, and here it is. Right click, add notify, new notify, left foot step. Okay, now that's it for the walking. We're definitely gonna add it for all of those. So just go back here. Oh, this is the walking backwards. Now the second time, what you want to do is, instead of new notify, what you want to do is you want to get one of the skeleton notifies and select it, you know, select the one you created earlier. So for example, I created the left footstep for the left foot, and when you get to the right footstep, you add the one for the right footstep, which we created like moments earlier. I'm also going to add it for the sprinting. There you go. So for the sprinting animation, there's actually more than two. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're also going to add for 3 and 4. I'm going to add it over here. You know, you can add it wherever you want, but it's not going to sound realistic if you do. You really have to be precise about when she's putting her leg on the ground. For example, for me, it's at this moment. And yeah, we're done with the sprinting. Now let's do the running. And I know this is a bit tedious, but it's fun, I guess. It's one of the most fun parts about working in a game. You know, sound. I really like it. 1. Right leg. 2. Left. And we're done here. Oh, we can actually choose them from here. How did I not notice that? We did the walking, backwards walking, sprint, running, right strafe walk. Now is left strafe walk. The idle won't need anything. And the crouch, yeah, it will need it. What else? Is there anything else? Nope. And we're down to the last two, so let's add them together. There you go. This one's, no, that one's left. Okay, I'm gonna add the left one here. And the right one over here. And we're finally done. That was very, very tedious. Actually, let's add one more for the jumping. Actually, no, let's not do that. Okay. So now that we've done that, what we want to do is we want to tell the animation blueprint what to do when these notifiers are called. So we're going to go to the blueprints folder and to our animation blueprint. Now what I want to do in the NMBP is I'm actually going to open the notifiers graph, and this one we've made it earlier when we were doing the, you know, stopping the movement when we attack. So we're going to do a separate one for the, like the, in the same graph, we're going to comment on this and name it stop movement in, no, not in, during attacks. And I know the name is long, but it does the job. So next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a notifier for both the left footstep and the right footstep. And what I'm gonna do here is something similar to this, what we did in the, you know, when we did the battles. So I'm gonna go to the character interface and I'm gonna create a new function which is going to be called footstep sound, and I'm going to create a category for it which is going to be called SFX. Now in here I'm going to create a new boolean called right. So write with a question mark. This one is gonna ask the question whether the you know, it's the right foot or the left foot. I'm gonna type in here footstep sound, and I'm gonna connect it to this one, and the character will be BP bass car. And since this is the right footstep, we want to take this and copy it all to the left footstep, but on this one deactivate it. This way, you know, we can set different sound effects for each foot. So to tell it to play the sound cue, we're actually going to go back to our character, which is BP bass. And I'm going to go to the movement graph. And in the movement graph, what I want to do is I'm going to do something very simple. Actually, let's create an event graph just for the audio. That's going to be cleaner. So I'm just going to call it SFX graph. And I know we're only working on our, you know, character, not the enemy. We'll find a solution for that later to, you know, apply everything on that character. But for now, let's just work on this one. So in the SFX graph, what you want to do is you want to get the event for footstep sounds. And what you want to do when the event is called is you want to play a sound cue. Play sound at location, and the sound is gonna be the where is it? The SFX footsteps stone cue, and the location will be get actor location. And I think that's about it. So let's try it out and see if it actually works. Actually, no, let's do full screen first. I want to turn this off. And as you can see, it's working. The game's really feeling atmospheric at this point. Very good. And you know, it doesn't matter if you're sprinting or running or walking. It changes based on your speed, which is very great. But one thing I want to do is I want to make it a bit louder. So I'm going to go to my, where is it? My sounds folder and my SFX folder. And one good practice to do is actually taking your sound cues and keeping them in a separate folder so that they don't get lost between all of the sound effects, you know, the wave files. Oh, I accidentally put it here. Oh, we also want to add the soundtrack. I forgot that. So first I'm actually going to make the footsteps louder. So simply from the output, the volume multiplier will be 1.75 instead of 0.75. And we'll go and play it and see how it goes. Yeah, that's much better. You know, this is starting to look really, really good. So for the music, I'm also going to create a sound cue. And I'm going to call this BGM, which is background music. And the name will be the, you know, whatever your soundtrack's called. So this is from Bloodborne. It's called Hail the Nightmare. And please, for the love of whatever you cherish, don't use, you know, soundtracks from other games. But since this is a tutorial and we're not actually gonna release this, I can do it. To get this working, basically you can just drag and drop it and it will work. Let me show you. But I don't want it to work when you actually start the level, I want it to work at this point when you walk through this door. So it's a very simple thing to do. But first let's try and see how it sounds. Yeah, that definitely sounds great. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's amazing. So what we want to do now is we wanted to play at that point. So it's very simple. You just put a box trigger over here and you tell the level blueprint to play the sound cue whenever you reach it. And let's do it right now and I'll show you the rest. So this is the box trigger. You want to make sure that the player can't avoid it. So I'm gonna make it very long. Yeah, like this. The player can't just jump over it. And you want to go to the level blueprint and you want to right click, add event for trigger box 1. Now it's good practice to rename those to other stuff. So for example, this trigger box is gonna trigger the BGM, so I'm gonna call it trigger box underscore BGM underscore 1. That way you remember what it's for. So in the level blueprint, you right click and you add an event for trigger box BGM1, collision, add on actor begin overlap. And what you want to do is you want to play sound. So since you want the soundtrack to play at the entire thing, not at the location where it's put, you want to play the sound to the, which is going to be BGM Hail the Nightmare, and compile it. Now let's save before testing it, because I think this is everything. And we forgot to actually remove the song from the level. We don't want it to be in the level. The blueprint will know when to play it. One moment. Oh, sorry for the bots. You know, you're exploring and there's no song. And let's get to that point. Yeah, the sounds of, you know, the footstep sounds are sounding amazing. So yeah, this is where it triggers. Let's try and listen. And it's working. And I didn't set the song to loop. I don't want it to loop. So when it ends, it just ends. Oh, okay. So if you keep walking over it, it will keep playing over and over and over again. So what you want to do there are many ways to, you know, fix it. The first thing you could do is just destroy actor, which will be the trigger box. You want to drag it and drop it and place it over here and connect it to this one. Now let's try it out and see if it works. By the way, sorry for the weak commentary today. I kinda sound tired, I'm not sure why. So yeah, it's working. Now I'm gonna go back. Yeah, it doesn't play again. So that fixed it. You know, maybe in the cleanup videos, I'm actually gonna make the attacks much faster. It's kinda slow like this. I'm also gonna add, you know, moving forward while attacking. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if it was useful for you, and if it wasn't, just I don't know, find something else to do. Before I leave you, I actually wanted to special thank my patrons, who are very precious and supportive to me. So yeah, thank you very much, patrons. And if you want to download the project files same as them, make sure to check out my Patreon page, which is gonna be in the description and in the comments below probably. So yeah guys, see you in the next video. Take care.